I know that me and my sisters have all worked very hard on ourselves. And there were times that, we've had to take breaks from each other and love each other from a distance because we triggered each other because of our dysfunction as children and, and the life we live. So, um, I think the most important thing is always first trying to figure out who am I and what is it that I want out of this lifetime? Like if you're, 50, like I always say, I always use the word 80. So right now, just so you know, I have 19 more Christmases. And when you look at it that way, so 19 more Christmases to decorate my house and my Christmas tree and buy presents for my daughter and my grandson and celebrate Christmas. And, 19 more falls is my favorite season, like watching the trees change out here in New York and just like I'm at my best in the fall. And when you look at it that way, 19 more times, it's not a lot.
Yeah. It
So
puts
what am I
everything
doing?
in perspective.
Doesn't it? It really does. And if you think of it that way, then you're just like, starting to say, okay, well, if I got 19 more, like this year, I took my tree, I undecorated my house March 2nd. That's how much I love Christmas. But again, I'm like, okay, well, now I have 19 more times to cherish this special, special holiday that I love. And so, and that's what I see, like even with like my mom, she's 83, and I'm like, okay, if I see her once a year and she dies next year, that's 12 more times I got to see her. So like I try to put in that this life is so precious and it can be taken away from us at the drop of a dime. So why am I wasting my time being angry, being sad, being angry at something that happened 30 years ago, or even if it was 10 years ago? Like, am I going to let that dictate my day today because somebody screwed me over or burnt me or betrayed me so many years ago? No, like I'm fine. And like they're no, they lost, and I always say to myself, it's an honor to be in my life, and so you blew it, so now you're gone, type thing.
Yeah.
And it's just figuring out who you are, who you want to be, and how you want to love yourself, and then setting those boundaries that nobody's allowed to treat you any way other than what you want them to treat you. And I think that's a big step. I think our loved ones and our lovers are the most influential and they're the ones that can dictate your day, right? Like you can have a fight with your spouse and you can have a horrible day for like 2 days, and that's so like you have to say, is this worth it? Is this worth it? Is this something that like I want to ruin my day over? No.
Yeah. Do you believe, reflecting off of your past, do you believe that everything you have experienced, it shaped you into the woman that you are today? But do you believe that your strength comes from your past, or does your strength come from because of what you learned from it?
I think every day that every abusive thing that happened to me, I'm grateful because it taught me that I could be stronger than that. It showed me a different way of life, and it showed me that I was strong enough to not let any of them break me. And I hold on to a lot of those memories because it empowers me to say I'm not a victim because I will never ever feel like I'm a victim, but I'm someone that got so many different types of experiences that I feel I'm the strong one that can help others because I've experienced it, and I feel like if you've experienced something like that can people help you. Like I used to think, oh, these people go to shrinks, but like how can they really know truly how it feels to have an alcoholic uncle that's abusive? Like unless they had that, because they can say, the textbook tells me yes, this and this, but unless they really experience it, like I don't think they truly get it. And that's why I feel like I was put on this earth to experience all these things, and they didn't break me. They made me stronger. But now I like thrive off those because now I can actually be like empathic or like show so much empathy towards and people that are telling me their stories. I get it and I can relate so much better. And I feel like that's a healing, being able to help others heal because I'm not fake it. I'm not faking it. Like I get it. And I think that so my strength, I'm grateful for all of the bad things that happened in my life. I definitely, because that's what shaped me to who I am. But now because of my strength, like now I feel empowered. And so I love everything that's gone on in my life. And now my message is definitely to help people to look at life as a passion and as something fun and find your niche and just go with it. And who cares what all the peer pressure. When I started my flight school, do you want to know how many people just like doubted me and they're like, "You were you crazy?" I was in my 50s, you right? So I'm in my 50s and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fly planes." And they made fun of me. One of my friends was just like, "Oh, she's just gonna go fly a big airplane." And it was really hard. I battled against a lot of adversary, but like it was so worth it. And I like freaking blew them out of the water. You know what I mean? Like it almost gave me the thing to prove to them, look, I'm smart enough and I'm capable enough to do this. And not only did I become a pilot, but I started my own flight school. So
Wow.
like it just inspired me to be better.
That is so like your story is incredible. Like I told you when I reached out to you, you have, I think, a phenomenal story, and I think it's very empowering for other people, especially the youth and other women and anyone, to really
Yeah, thank you.
hear your story. It's truly incredible. I didn't know about the flight school. That's a really cool.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. So and like there's nothing better than people saying, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "I'm a pilot," or I own a flight school, and you're just like talk about like boosting your ego and
Yeah,
feeling good, right? Like you're talking about how do you find out how to love, how do you love yourself? Yeah, I'm proud. It was hard work and it was a very lonely thing for me because I went to a flight school and the other students that were there, they were young 20-year-old boys. So I'm this old lady coming in, going in. I never really spoke to them because we had nothing in common and everybody's just passing as we'd go for our lessons. So it
yeah,
was very lonely and very difficult. So when I did my flight school, I wanted us to have a community and I wanted the students to know each other and know that they, could talk. We would have group classes and it was just discussions because I wanted them to be able to ask the hard questions and have other people learn from the questions too. So everything that I've done, like I feel like I take and I try to sh do it better from my end.
yeah.
Like I go to flight school